Hey, you guys. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Ashley, and this is My Sweet Perspective, where I give my take on all things TV and movie related. And you know, I'm here to put you on, but I'm not here alone. Tonight, we are back to talk Ironheart, which premiered last night on Disney Plus. The first three episodes have aired, and we will be talking about it, but I won't be talking about it alone. So let's bring everyone up because we have, it's a cute little panel tonight. Very excited about this. I'm going to start with my girl in a bag of pearls because y'all know her, y'all love her. Struggle Reviews TV. How are you? And are you ready? Are you ready, friend? I know it's Marvel, but are you ready?
Yeah. At a high pitch. Yeah, I'm ready. I am definitely ready. You know how I feel about Marvel, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna go over and support us and watch us when we're there. So I'm here for all things Riri Williams.
Okay, amen. I take it. And y'all know him and love him as well. And he's been over here a couple times. Brandon over at Just My Opinion Reviews. Hey, B. Avery, how are you? How is your day? And are you ready to get into it?
Hello. How are you all? Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to work with you and Tara. So I'm happy to be here. My day was pretty good. Got it was a pretty good day. Can't complain. Ate some decent food. Rewatched the episodes in preparedness for this live, and I'm excited to get into it.
Yay. And we're doing a kind of a little bit of a different approach tonight with these slides. So just bear with me, y'all. I was like, what am I? Do I belong over here? But we're gonna get into it and it's gonna be fun. Last but not least, Malcolm over at The Black Kakashi is here to join us tonight. How are you, Malcolm? And are you ready to get into all things Riri Williams?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Yes, I'm very excited to talk about this show. But before we do, I just want to say thank you for inviting me because this is kind of special for me because just a year ago, I was watching you and Struggle Reviews cook Louis for 2 seasons straight on Interview with a Vampire. So it's kind of nice to finally be a part of one of y'all streams.
Oh, awesome. It's so good to have you. We didn't even know you were watching those Interview with a Vampire lives. Lord have mercy. A time was had back, and so you've seen us in all of our glory. Yeah,
Doing the most.
Yes.
That's another thing. Anybody who watches us and supports us, because when Ashley sent the channel, I was like, I
I
didn't
know
know
him.
he follows me. And he never told me he had a channel. Like, we like to support other people. So please let us know if you're watching and you are doing YouTube as well.
And nice to meet you, Malcolm. I'm
Yeah.
Brandon,
Nice to
by the
meet
way.
you too.
Yay. Okay, guys. So here we come. And we're not going to belabor the point because, like I said, your girl made slides. So we're over here. But as I start every single live, I want to know, and I'll go in order, of course, overall thoughts. And Malcolm, since you're new to the panel, I want to start with you. What were your overall thoughts after watching these first three episodes of Ironheart?
Um, I enjoyed it, to be honest. I mean, I'm familiar with the character Ironheart. I mean, when she was first introduced back in 2015, I was kind of excited because it's somebody else being Iron Man, and and she's black, so it's kind of a. I mean, we do have War Machine, but it's kind of nice to see another person take up the mantle of the suits. But overall, I like the show. I mean, this after episode 3, I was kind of like really looking forward to what was in store. But I just want to point out something real quick. During the promotion of the show, they had a caption for it, and it said "The Hood comes to the MCU." So I kind of just thought that was really funny for them to promote that, considering how people are already backlashing the show. So just to have a
Yeah.
caption like that was pretty interesting.
Wild work, wild work. Leave it to them though, and their campaigns. And again, people not probably putting together that Parker is the hood, and then the blackness of it all. But we'll get into all that a little bit later. B. Avery, overall thoughts after watching the first three episodes.
Yeah, well, going in, my expectations were very low. I didn't have faith in the show. I wanted to, but just the lack of marketing and enthusiasm from so many sources, I just wasn't feeling it. And I knew nothing about Ironheart coming into this other than it's a recent comic, like 2016. I didn't know anything about the hood, so I just wasn't expecting much. But overall, I did like it. I said in my little reaction that I thought episode 1 was the weakest. I still feel that way, but that's not to say that it was bad. For me, the show got slightly better, as each episode came on. And we got a nice reveal or two in episode 3. Natalie is growing on me more and more. I mean, I have my least favorite aspects of the show, which we'll get into, but overall, I'm happy, and I'm just happy.
Okay, sounds good. Tyra, I'm bringing it over to you, Miss. Overall thoughts, and I know you watched it fresh because we tried to watch in the middle of the night last night, which was a super bad idea, probably.
Mhm.
But Tyra, I know you rewatched it today. So overall
Yeah.
thoughts after the rewatch.
It's it's what I expected. You know how I feel about Marvel. It's safe, it's generic, it's black. Like I'm here for Riri. I'm here for the cast. I'm here for the diversity of it all, the basic level reasons that I'm sure a lot of us want to support who maybe aren't the biggest Marvel fans. It was a very slow start at the beginning. I don't like waiting to the very end of episode 3 to feel like I have something to look forward to narratively, but I'm just glad I have something. So I'm thinking that what I'm looking for or the pickup is more so in episode 4 and 5 situation where I want to be set episode 1 and be invested in everything that Riri has going on. And I cannot say I was. And I can't say that I still am.
Okay, all right. Well, for me, it was the same. I was kind of bored, and like I said, we watched this in the wee hours of the morning, and I was very bored in the first episode, and I really, really, really wanted more. But by like probably middle of episode 2, when I rewatched it today, I was set. I was like, all right, let's see what this ragtag crew is gonna do in a heist situation. Let's see what Anthony Ramos is over here. And after I watched him today, Tyra, yes, big fine. I said, okay, he's back. I just needed to see him in another, But no, in by episode 3, I was really into it. I was really excited to see Ezekiel, like the callback to Obadiah. He's one of my favorite villains in the MCU. So I was super like I was set. Honestly, I was like, "Who? He's not your friend, girl. Don't trust him, Riri. He is not your friend." But I mean, I'm excited to see what develops, and you know how I feel about representation. I do think it matters, especially in these types of spaces, because we want to see more of these types of stories. So I'm going to support it either way. But I thought it improved over those 3 episodes. Like I said, by the last episode that we saw, episode 3, I was in it to win it. And so, logline, of course, set after the events of Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, Marvel's television Ironheart pits technology against magic when Riri Williams, played by Dominique Thorne, a young genius inventor determined to make her mark on the world, returns to her hometown of Chicago. Now, Malcolm, you said that you're familiar with the comics, and I want to say when I was digging around online, she makes her appearance in the Invincible Iron Man in like 2015, 2016. What do you think about her storyline in the comics as it compares to what we've seen in the first 3 episodes here?
Okay, so I want to reiterate that I haven't read her comics, but I knew that she made her debut in like 2015. Like I didn't read her comics, but I was familiar with who she was, I should say. So I guess I'm not really well known with her character. So sorry for rewording that so weird.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was just curious. Now, Brandon, you said this was your first time hearing of Ironheart as well, right? So, yeah, it
Correct.
was new to me, and I really just wanted to know how she compared to the comic version because I feel like they say in Wakanda Forever she's introduced narrowly, right? So you don't really get the breadth or the width of who she is. And here, it seems like she's very one-track minded. She's really focused on this suit and not much else. I really wanted her to come stronger morally in the first episode. Like I really wanted to know like her real why. I think they're slowly revealing
I'll give
that
you that.
around Natalie and her stepdad, but I don't know. That's probably like my biggest gripe is I wanted to know Riri more and what her why was.
I
Tyra.
give you that
Oh,
for
go ahead,
sure.
Brady. Oh, go ahead.
No,
Brandon, you're next.
my fault. I don't want to mess up the flow. My fault. Go ahead.
No, you're
No,
fine. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I heard somebody else say that about our character, that they thought she was selfish, and I kind of see where she's coming from. But I just like her drive and her tenacity. I mean, she's obsessed with making this suit, and I don't blame her. When the show first opened, she was like, "Hey, I want to be bigger than Pym, Stark, everybody, and I commend that. But what I like about it is everybody already knows who she is. This is not like a suit that she just built yesterday. She been doing where she finished high school at 11, college 15, all that, got newspapers up and all. I like that. That helped me get a bit of knowledge on her personality, and also when she met John at the very beginning, at the scrap yard or the scrap meet or whatever, the junkyard. So I don't know. I'm really liking Riri a lot. I like how serious she is 24/7. Like there's just no jokes. It's just like a beeline everywhere she goes, A to B to C to D. Let's get it done. I don't have time to play around and goof around. So I don't know. I'm loving everything about her.
Okay. Tyra.
oh Lord. The first thing that came to my mind, because I don't read any comics and I only know her as far as Wakanda. And the first word out of my mouth was, I can't wait to get to know who she is beyond just the suit. Maybe I was asking for too much. I'm not, hella familiar with all the I ain't watched too much of that. And I think that this is up there as far as expectations for what you want from them. Everybody's kind of cut from that Peter Parker, Spider-Man-esque cloth where we have to have some type of tragedy and, a grief portion, and we have this drive and we have this suit. But with her, being a reflection of us, I just wanted to know her passion outside of the suit and what was really driving her, and get more into just her narratively as a person. And so far, I'm like, she want to make this suit. She wants to be successful. She's brilliant, but it's all just very surface level. But I'm not sure because I don't watch a whole lot of Marvel. So I'm like, is this good for Marvel, or is this just okay in general? Is this like the most that they've given all of the the characters as far as arcs and backstory? It's just all kind of formulaic. So I just wanted to know, outside of her being a Black girl, what was going to make her different from Tony Stark in the suit, because we know all about that. Like, why do you want to do this suit? And if that is that, then who are you narratively as a woman, as a person, as a young girl? And then when we do have the question of, well, why do you want to make this suit? And she just keeps reiterating, because I can. Because I can. And I get that, but I just want a little bit more, because we know that, and I know that that's an extension of the stepdad and the Gary, because we have him say that to her as well in the show. But I want more, because we don't get a whole lot. So I'm just probably being nosy.
Yeah, I think we've had a long time to deal with the most popular characters in the MCU. We've had quite a while, and they have a lot of lore behind them. And I think with her being newer, that might be a part of it. But I mean, I'm not gonna go. I think it's apples and oranges, Tyra. I can't compare this lady with nobody else right now. Malcolm, what about you? What do you think of her development in the story as we're seeing Riri? Do you like Riri? Do you hate Riri? Do you believe in her motivation?
I would say I'm like 50-50 with her. Like there's some moments in the show where I like her, and then there's some moments in the show where I don't like her. Like I like that she's, like a strong, smart Black woman, and she knows her worth and she wants to prove it to the world. I like that. Like the same stuff that people hate Angel Reese for, she's kind of like, she embodies that as well. So I kind of like that about her. But I try not to I try not to get so negative about her when she does certain things in the show at the moment. So like I understand why she's doing it, but so like if I was in the certain situations that she was in, I know that I wouldn't even be in the first place. I would just be like, nah, I'm good, and just go straight home. So I'll give her credit for that.
Yeah, I like my heroes to hero. Like I like a ultimate good. I do. I can't help myself. But easing on down the road, just a little bit of background, the creative vision and the crew. This was created by Shanaka Hodge, and she was the showrunner. Sheena Dugal did the what is it called, the effects work. Sam Bailey and Angela Barnes are directors for these first 3 episodes, right? So our showrunner, she came from TNT Snowpiercer. Tyra just had me watch the movie Snowpiercer. I've never watched the show, but I will tip over there to see what she was cooking with, because she wrote on 10 episodes of Snowpiercer. Sam
The
Bailey, the
show's
one with the
really great.
is it? I mean, the movie was
Yeah.
good. I really enjoyed the movie. So I'm gonna go over there to Snowpiercer. And then Sam Bailey, the young lady with the locks on the left, she directed episodes 1 and 2. And she has done a project called Brown Girls. I haven't watched that yet. I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper. And then on the right, we have Angela Barnes, who directed the 3rd episode, and she's behind Mythic Quest and all of those things. So I'd like to see that it was women. Sheena Dugal actually is pretty prolific in the effects world from what I've seen online, and she's like BAFTA nominated and all of those things. Are you guys, or I'll start with you, Tyra, are you familiar with any of these ladies? Have you heard their names before, seen them, anything?
Sheena Dugal, yes. Sam Bailey, but the rest of the ladies, no, I have not. It is nice to see this. So many times we have, our narratives being told by someone else, and we're not at the helm of the project. So the fact that it's all ladies and 3 of them are Black women, that's really nice. And I think it shows creatively in the show because we got some dialogue. I was like, yeah, who put that there? Who put that there? That's we can tell that there was a touchstone and a base to go with. Yeah, we would probably intermingle and be like this, or just attention to the smaller details where things matter. And definitely on the effects side, I think they were handled really well. So this is all good to me.
Absolutely. Brandon, are you familiar with any of these ladies on the screen? Have you seen any of their work before? Oop, you're muted.
My bad. I apologize. I'm looking up Sheena right now, and there is a few of her films that I have seen that she's had the visual effects, The Hunger Games, which I liked, and Body of Lies and Venom. The Sam Bailey and Angela Barnes, I'm not familiar with, but Shanaka, I am briefly familiar with her just because I have been looking her up since this show was announced because I wanted to know who's behind it, and so of course I just recognize her from that. But looking at her filmography, I haven't seen anything except for Snowpiercer. You mentioned the movie. Is that the one with Chris Evans?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like that. But other than that, yeah, I'm not too familiar with him. But I am glad it's nothing but women up here.
Yeah,
Because they're
that's
dominating.
nice. It's interesting over there.
Mhm.
And Malcolm, are you familiar with any of these ladies? Do you know any of their work? I just found out Shanaka was on Def Poetry Jam. I said I'm gonna have to go back and check her out. She was a spoken word poet, I guess, before she got into screenwriting.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm familiar with any of them, but I didn't know that Shanaka Hodge was a part of the TNT show Snowpiercer, and I watched all the seasons of that, and I really love it. It's a very underrated show in my opinion. It's really good, but besides that, that's all I know. Just Snowpiercer.
Awesome. I'm definitely going to run back Snowpiercer. I've heard nothing but good things about the show, and I like the movie, so we're going to go over there. So, how and the why? Ironheart, of course, was announced as a film back in 2018, but then was changed to a Disney Plus original TV series in 2020. Principal photography wrapped in November 2022, but then the release date for the series wasn't announced until last October, with the trailer finally being released last month. The streamer wanted to give Ironheart, just like its other shows, a chance to have its own spotlight. Now, there's been some controversy, not only, I guess, around it being, changed from a film, but to a show. But then also around why they did the release the way that they did. Why are they doing half now, half next week over the course just of 2 weeks? And I'm going to start with you, Brandon. Why do you think that is, and how do you feel about this release, how they're releasing it?
Well, it's frustrating because I think we have talented people in front and behind the camera that are not getting the same treatment as other people in the MCU. Um, Kevin Feige right now is for the most part in charge of everything, but I don't blame all of this on him. Everything in phase 4 and 5 hasn't been the best, and that's because Bob Iger stepped down and Bob Chapek came through. And at that time, he just wanted to produce, 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 really didn't care about the quality. It was all about the numbers. And, this was a result of that treatment, just Secret Invasion. We can go down the list with Disney Plus shows that, um, didn't get the fair shake. I also kind of think that they just didn't know where they was going with the overall story or the arc of the MCU. I mean, with the way this show possibly ends, it may not fit to where they want to go. And so I just think they didn't know where to put it. They just didn't have faith in it. Maybe because it's all black people. I don't know. Um, yeah. So I mean that's my 2 cents. Um, and I'm pretty confident in it, but I can still be wrong. So, but I guess we'll see.
I was curious because I know that there was a lot of outrage. Like I went to a couple of IG pages just to kind of see what the buzz was, what people were saying, and it was nothing but hate for the most part. Even before the show premiered. So Malcolm, what do you think? Do you think it was intentional? Do you think they were pressured by the fans of the Marvel verse to present it this way, or what do you even think of it? Do you think it was a good idea to drop 3 and 3?
Personally, I didn't really like how they was promoting the show. I mean, it just feels like when you compare it to other stuff, they advertise it a lot, but just the fact that this was advertised like 1 month and then like just been silent the whole time, it just seems kind of weird. And then they tried to add Ryan Coogler on there just so people would come and support it even more. It just didn't seem right to me. But I know I met the lead actor of the show at a DreamCon this year, so it was kind of nice to see her there. But overall, I don't know. I do know that I don't know if it's true or not, but I think this is going to connect to Doomsday. I think I'm not sure about that, but I think that's what it's supposed to be doing. But I could be wrong.
Well, that'll be awesome. Tyra, any thoughts on this presentation? Because I know we talked about it. You were like, they're dropping all 3 at once? Like, what are they doing? I thought this was going to be weekly.
Yeah, I feel like everything that they've been saying about Disney Plus and Marvel is true, that they're waiting on whatever that's about to happen that saves the MCU, and everything else before that just needs to get out of the way. Like, let's just rush it all out. When they do this formula, it makes me feel like you don't believe in what you have, and I'm already kind of defeated before I ever watch it.
Mhm.
Because if you think that it's that good and the writing is up there, people are going to engage and they're going to look forward and come back every single week. And even if it's just 6 episodes, you're going to be there because it was just that good. If it's not, then it's like, okay, well, let's just get it out. We're gonna be cute about it. And I was surprised they didn't put it all out at the same time. If we're gonna go with that, but when it's reduced from a film and then we elongate it into a show and then we rush it out and half it, how much faith do you actually have in it? Then you didn't even promote it. It's like the little show that could. It's not even really having 2 legs to stand on, and that's really a disadvantage to everybody who worked on the project or cared to wait until however long. Because if it was a film, then I'm sure this was supposed to be rolled out not too late after the Wakanda situation, because that's where we all met her and where there would be hype around, intrigue to know more about her character to support a movie in the first place. So the fact that they did this, I think they don't care and they didn't believe in whatever they have here in store for us in these 6 episodes.
Did y'all
Yeah.
see Echo?
I
The
watched
Marvel
part of
channel?
it. I like Kingpin, so I was over there a little bit
Okay.
with her. I like Indigenous Bay over there. I thought she did good. I don't know, but it lost my interest about halfway through it, so I
I
can't
yeah,
give a fair assessment.
I think they released all 5 at once. With
Oh,
that one, that's why I mentioned that's all.
Yeah, well, she was, I guess an underserved population as well. But I like Kingpin wherever he is, and I didn't think she was a bad character at all. But they like to do what they like to do. So now we're gonna go through the characters, and then we'll kind of briefly touch on what actually happened. Because although it was 3 episodes, the story was pretty, succinct in that respect. But I did want to kind of just comment on the comics versus the show presentation for just kind of our main characters. And I want to start right here with Riri. So in the comics, she again debuted in Invincible Iron Man as a 15-year-old Chicago prodigy who reversed engineered a Mark 51 Iron Man suit after her best friend Natalie and stepdad were unalived, we know, in a drive-by. Tony Stark is her AI and he mentors her, right? In the show, we see Natalia is her AI. She's engineered her best friend's consciousness, and that's who really is her conscience, because Riri, in and of herself, doesn't really seem to have one. And there will be spoilers, guys. I saw that in the chat. Versus the show, we're presented with an aged up Riri. She's been at MIT for 5 years now. So she's what, like 19, 20. She's a sophomore. She still is not out of MIT because she's been selling papers, selling technology, helping people cheat basically. So we see her get expelled and she gets back to the south side of Chicago. And again, instead of her Stark AI, she has Natalie, which is her interface. Like I said, that's kind of like the angel on her shoulder. I'm going to start with you, Malcolm. What do you think of the presentation, again, of her in the show? And what do you think about them removing Tony Stark as her AI? It would have been nice if Robert Downey could have just done a voice. I don't know. I kind of would have been here for that, but I do like Natalie. So what do you think of that, Malcolm?
I actually forgot that Tony Stark was her AI in the comics, so I can kind of see why they didn't put Robert Downey Jr. in it, because he would clearly take attention away from her, because they would be like, I just want to hear Robert Downey Jr. talk to her for 6 episodes straight. So I can kind of see why they took her away. But I actually like Natalie a little bit. I mean, it's I like that she cloned her best friend accidentally, and so she's basically just spending time with her without unintentionally. So I kind of like that. It'll kind of help her grief a little bit, get over her grief and move on. So I kind of like that. But I like the switch around.
Okay, cool. Tyra, what do you think about it, knowing this now, that Tony Stark was supposed to be her AI? Would it have served her storyline? And what do you think of her now being aged up? She's almost 20. She didn't finish MIT. She got expelled. And now she's back home, again, focused on this suit.
I mean, it would have been nice to see and hear Tony have that connection, and kind of like a passing of the torch moment. But we would have definitely been focused on Robert Downey Jr. and counting every second till, even if we were just hearing him, because he's the Iron Man. So that would have definitely taken the focus off of Riri. The aging of her is interesting when we have 15 and 19, because it seems like they didn't know which way to kind of go with her in the show, because at moments she does very much so give 14, 15-year-old, and then at other times is giving 21. But they kind of go up and down with that. The MIT situation, are you asking how I feel about her not finishing school and we kind of being disbanded? I didn't like that, because that was my first question. I was like, baby, you're brilliant. Why can't you do both? Us kind of having that slippery slope of diving into a life of crime, and I don't want us to lean too much into the stereotypes just because we have a Black girl here. Like, we already have her family dying in a drive-by. We already, like, come on. And then it's just like, well, I'm so brilliant that I really just don't have time. Like, let me just do what I need to do. Let me just soak this up, build my robot, keep it real cute. I could do that in a minute. Like, it's a waste of my time. Okay, well, why don't you just do it? And then we can still, fund everything that we want to and have our brilliancy take precedent, and we don't have to go off and find nefarious ways to get money to build it. I was like, well, why she got to do that? Why does she have to do that? I mean, it's an arc. Would it be my preferred one for her? No, girl, you in MIT. Like, it was, it's a beautiful thing to see. And just with how brilliant she is, we know that it would be no skin off her back to do both at the same time. But when you have her under the cloak of a liar, a manipulator, and a deceiver, and I'm going to plagiarize this, and I don't mind getting my hands dirty, if it means that I'm worldwide for my genius, then you kind of put her in a moral gray area. And I'm never one who needs my heroes to be, I'm here for a little anti-hero type situation. But just with her in particular and how old she is and where she's come from and who she is, I think it's a little muddy.
Yeah, yeah. I like I said, by episode 3, we're approaching, right, some of the things that might be holding her back in certain areas. Like, we definitely get that she gets anxiety, she's overwhelmed, she's definitely still grieving, and there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of issues of life that she is putting on the back burner to kind of focus on this one singular thing. And I think that story would be more interesting if we got some of that a little bit earlier. Like, I really want to know Riri, and I think that would help the audience connect with her more. But Brandon, what do you think about her presentation here versus the comic? And what do you think about Tony Stark originally being her AI and now us having Natalie?
I love it just the way it is in the show. Going into this, I was like, wait a minute, this is not comic accurate, but it doesn't always have to be. This, and I don't want to just say that, a 15-year-old, is not as believable, but I mean, I just like that she's aged up a bit, 19 years old, or at least started at MIT that way. Because I think that also gives better relationships between her parents and, her friends and Xavier. And I'm perfectly fine with Natalie being there as her AI, because, we can be more personal. This is a good way for us to get to know Natalie. I think if Tony was the AI, that just kind of would have been forced. We already have him back as Doomsday, which I think is a bad idea. So if he's could potentially come back after Secret Wars, then we have him as Doomsday, and then the AI. It's just like, man, can the MCU not survive without Tony Stark? So I'm 100% okay with this.
Okay, awesome. Easing on down this road, let's get over here to the hood, aka Parker Robbins, Anthony Ramos, okay, in the building. And I do think it's kind of interesting because honestly, when he was presented, I was like, what? I was like, does he have Doctor Strange? I didn't watch Multiverse of Madness, true confession. I did not go over there and watch it, but I have seen the first iteration of Doctor Strange, and of course, I've seen him in the Avengers and all the other things. But I was like, did he steal his clothes? I was like, that's what it looks like to me. But apparently, in the comic book, he's a thief that kills Nasanti Demon, stealing a cloak and boots that channel Dormammu and Mephisto level magic, right? So that's why this cloak is so important and what it does. In the show, he's been replanted in Chicago as a smooth criminal boss, assembling a tech boosted crew, keeps the demon cloak secret until episode 3's botched heist, where we finally see its invisibility and teleportation tricks. I want to know from you, Tyra, what did you think of Parker Robbins? Were you immediately on edge when he approaches a Riri and we see kind of this ragtag team of, heisters?
It's very obvious what he wants and who this is. I really, let me his there the clearly the main arc and I guess villainy will, or the standoff, if you will, it'll be between these two. So I like the switch up in the change of route of, oh my god, I never would have guessed it. I like to be in the dark, and I wasn't really in the dark with his intentions or what he wants when we have him being so dismissive of one member immediately up on just seeing Riri. Yeah, you can go. We found, like, we know that he has a separate agenda, whatever that may be. So there's no surprise or something for me to wait for there. And I get out of the ragtag, he's the most intriguing. I'll say that, but I guess he would be because he is the leader. But I wasn't like, whisked away with how great he was and like, oh, he's killing it. It's Anthony Ramos. He's great actor for the most part. I don't mind him, but it wasn't anything. None of the people were anything impressive. I'm like, they're gonna be cute. Like this was very expected. It was. I just like, if we're gonna have her go down this path, we have her here with this kind of Robin Hood kind of complex. Well, is it really a question of morale? Because we're robbing people, but are they good people? are they, or are they for the people, good causes? Well, look at us and look at them. Why wouldn't we? But it's like, let's just go over there and call a thing a thing. And it's not like we're not. It's just like they collected a coalition of POC people and put them all. I don't know. It's like they collected some people and put them all here, and we kind of checked off boxes. And we have the hood, and we have the brother, and we have our, our Shea Coulee, and that covers our LGBTQIA demographic. And we have, it's like we checked all the colors of the rainbow in the coalition and put these people here, and this is our ragtag team. But yeah, you still have to make them really interesting and make us care. They can't just be people of color and we're just sat and satisfied with that. And immediately that's just what I saw. I was like, "Ooh, it's just all of people of color." I don't know. I expect more, but like I said, I don't know by Marvel standards how intriguing the villainy is supposed to be. But I mean, I feel like he's gonna have a wrath that we get to look forward to. But was it just grand for me overall? Absolutely not.
Okay, Brandon.
There were moments that I liked. His intro was not one of them. In episode 1, where Riri, got out of the elevator with the smoke and stuff. I thought that reveal, when they turned the camera around, he just looked kind of silly with the hood. But it's grown on me. I don't know anything. I like the hood character is someone I know the least of. I know who Dormammu is, a Mephisto, from the world of Doctor Strange. And so, obviously they are manipulating him, influencing him in some way. And that is cool to me. I can't wait to see how that pops off with the way that episode 3 ended. But the character himself, I mean, he's okay. Bending bullets and stuff, teleporting. I don't have any expectations, so I can't say whether they got his powers and or abilities right. But I mean, I'm satisfied. I like what they're doing here. So hopefully it plays out in a positive way.
Hopefully it does. And Malcolm.
I actually like. I didn't recognize the actor, because at first I thought he was just some actor that I didn't know, but I actually seen him in the Transformers Beastars. So I was kind of surprised once I realized that it was actually him, because his hair is like so short in that movie compared to how it is in this one. So it was very nice to see a familiar actor besides the brother John, cousin John. As far as the hood character, I'm interested in this character. I mean, I kind of already knew that he was connected to Dormammu, but I'm very interested to see if they're gonna go the Mephisto route, because for years now people have been speculating for Mephisto. Like, they thought he was gonna be in WandaVision, and then they thought he was gonna be in something else. So it would be interesting if they go 0-3. So it kind of be interesting to see that. But one thing that I would really like for Marvel to do in terms of the hood character, if they somehow find a way to implement DMX's "Where the Hood At," I would so give this show a 10 out of 10 if they somehow implement that song, just because of that.
They got a cute coin. They could get it. I'm sure they could. They could get it. And this is just honorable mention, because I really loved her mom. Like, she was super minor. She didn't have much screen time, but I think Ronnie was a beautiful representation of a mother who loves their child. She was open. She wasn't overbearing. It was very much like, I love my child. I know my child. She's going to do what she does. And kind of understanding the grief that she was sitting with. I just really, really enjoyed her. If you guys want to say something, you can, but it's not required. Anybody can go if you want to speak on her.
I just want to say I like her too, and it was cool when she met the AI Natalie and they had their moment. I did like that. I liked her overall. She was cool.
No, she was
I like
great.
her character.
Yeah, she was great. I first of all, I love me some Cree Summer. So anytime we could have a circle that Cree Summer, then I'm happy. But as far as motherly representation, Black motherly representation, they take us up and through there a lot. And they could have easily went the stereotypical route and made her a negative Nancy and made her turn up the moment she saw that she was expelled. But you really see that she's really invested in not only her daughter, but her brilliance as well. And she's still motherly and still making a way, even though it's clearly just her. I think that's really, really great. And it's positive to see a Ronnie instead of what we typically get to see all the time.
And I gotta say, well said, Tara. But when she said, "Oh my gosh, can you make one of Gary?" and Riri was like, "Nah, I can't do that," I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's I felt something. I was like, man, you can't get mad at her for asking. You can't get mad at her for saying no either. That was tough. You had to throw that out there.
It was. I wonder why she did that because she really could. Like you could though.
Really?
Girl,
I thought
I think Riri could. If she did it once, she could do it again, right?
I think it was an accident.
All right. I think it was an accident.
She could do it again. I bet you she could replicate it. But leads it on over here to Joe McGillicuddy, aka Ezekiel Stane. This one I have my eye on. I can't lie. I've got my eye on him because his daddy was like I said, my favorite villain. And so I'm really, really interested to see what he's gonna do. He first appeared in the Order, genius arms dealer obsessed with outdoing Tony Stark biologically augments himself. In the show, he's introduced as a friendly junkyard supplier, Joe. Twist reveals he's Obadiah Stane's son, hiding from his dad's legacy. I don't want to be anything like my father because the S.H.I.E.L.D. people made you believe that, this is not what happened, but he was really trying to kill Tony Stark when he died. And so we kind of get all of that thrown at us in the matter of like a minute or two, and then it's on to the next. I have my eye on Mr. Zeke. I think he's up to no good. I believe he's a ne'er-do-well. Malcolm, what do you think of this introduction, and what do you think of him? I enjoyed his characters. I like the interaction. This is actually my favorite, chemistry. Like, I like him and Riri on screen together. For whatever reason, I think they feed off each other. But Malcolm, what do you think of Joe, a.k.a. Ezekiel?
I like his character. He gives off a good dynamic with Riri, and I actually like that. Not saying that they're trying to do an interracial relationship with her, so I'm not throwing that out there. But one thing that I would really like to see from Joe is if he can do the same thing his dad did. If you're familiar with the iconic line, Tony Stark built this thing in a cave with a box of scraps. I would love to see him say the same thing for Riri, just like Riri Williams built this thing in the Shy with a box of scraps. So I would like to hear that. But he was I'm 50-50 with him. I trust him for right now, but after hearing that that's his dad, you gotta be watching him now. And the fact that he blackmailed Riri after she warned him not to because she had a killer robot suit. So I kind of just think that's interesting that he still did that besides after threatening her. So I think it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, for sure. Brandon, what do you think of Joe?
What I would like to see from Joe is him put his foot down and strangle the hell out of Heather, his neighbor, that willingly has her dog pooping on his lawn. The audacity, like, man, if you don't football punt that dog into the heavens, he does need to, I don't know, at least hit her with a water balloon or something. But I do like the callback. I didn't expect that at all. I'm like, oh yeah, Obadiah Stane, and I did like Obadiah as well as a villain. I don't blame you as far as like you got to keep your eye on him, but he hasn't done anything, right now for me not to trust him. And I also have to think that Riri did come to him. He was chilling, making his stacks every once in a while on the black market, and she came knocking on his door, blackmailing him. But it is kind of cool, their relationship. She has the resources now. She has a place to do her thing and spread her wings like a peacock. So, but Joe, he cool overall. I like him.
Okay. Dane, are you happy now? Damn. Thank you for the $2 super chat, Dane. One with Kang in 2022, not Doom. Okay, we read your little message, Dane. Thank you.
Play with Dane and his super chats now. Look, he wants you to get the $2. Thank you, Ashley. I had to look up who his dad. Like, who his daddy is. I heard them mention it. I don't know nothing about them people. They haven't really. Okay, I will say this. for how I feel about the hood, and from the little bit that I do know about it, is that he is controlled and he's kind of infected. So there could be an offset from that, and him realizing the error of his ways, and him not being the ultimate villain that we would like him to be in the series. And this could be our unexpected, I would like that, because subvert something from me. I don't want it to just be plain as day who's good and who's bad here. So that will be nice, because at this moment he's very weak, because maybe when he went over there and cut them daisies, I said that ain't enough. That ain't enough. But just maybe that support and advice from Riri is something that puts the battery in his back to, okay, well, if that's what you can do, let me see what I can do, and we kind of have this battle of wits. That would be nice, instead of it just being the ultimate the hood or die type situation. But that would be nice. But as far as what we've gotten so far, I do like the chemistry that they have together. It is one of the better relationships in the show, even though we haven't gotten as much. And if he is a villain, that would be really, really great, because I think they need something to shake up the story.
I do too. We need a little bit. We need a little bit. And then of course we have Slug. And again, this is just a mention. In the comic, his name nods to a 1970s Kingpin-esque crime lord, but this version is brand new. In the show, of course, he's a Chicago drag queen turned hacktivist who cracks corporate servers for Parker's crew. Think Miss Robot with better lashes is what the people say on the online. Like I said, I don't know him. I don't know him to like him or not. I feel like everybody in this crew is very bendy morally, and they're all just about a cute coin and nothing really else. So I don't have too much for him. Any of you guys want to comment on Slug's character at all before I ease on down the road? No.
I'm just like you. I mean, he's smart. That's cool. I kind of like the toot line. I think that was in episode 1, and seems a bit overconfident. But I don't know. I don't really care for any of the crew except for John. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the crew is they're ragtag. Tyra, what?
If we're not going to give the crew any room to breathe, just let them be background. Don't play in our face with a diversity hire. Or, as much as I love Shea Coulee, and I am a huge fan of Drag Race and everything that she's accomplished, I'm happy to see her here. But I was like, oh, we don't need, Slug sashaying through it's a cute look, but none of these characters really have any depth. And I feel like with these episodes pretty much being an hour, we have time to give them something other than us getting the rag tag. Oh, you're a hacker. You're, the pyrotechnic, kind of really brief breakdown of everybody. And then what does it mean, so much after that. But these things matter when we have life and death situations of the episode 3 and the gas of it all. We want to care whether Slug and whoever else makes it out, and I cannot say that I care at all.
Yeah, and that's what Riri said. She's like, "Are we Ocean's 11 or are we Sopranos?" And I don't think you're either, because we've seen it done before with these heists and these capers, and everybody else has done it better. But again, this is just a show. They're throwing this in as they have 6 episodes. So I'm just, Malcolm, did you want to say anything on Slug before I ease on down the road here? No. Okay.
Nope, I'm good.
No, absolutely. Let's ease on down to Natalie. Now, of course, this did stay true. This was her childhood friend who was unalived when a stray bullet, got her, and the stepfather. Of course, we flash back, and these are kind of the moments where Riri is kind of more humanized, I guess. It takes her out of, this purpose that she's got and kind of makes her feel more relatable, I think. But now, of course, she is Natalie. She's the AI. She is the voice in her head, for better or worse, giving her advice, letting her know who's dangerous, who's not, and trying to guide her, in a right way. Not that Riri is going to listen. Malcolm, I'm starting with you. What do you think of Natalie? And you said earlier you were glad that she's her AI. What do you think of the relationship?
Yeah, I'm liking the relationship with her and Riri so far. The original Natalie, she said something out of pocket in the opening of the episode, talking about wanting to ride Thor's hammer. And me, I'm like, which hammer is she talking about? So I was like, okay. Because one would make sense and the other one won't, unless she's talking about the other end of it. But But Natalie, she has the same personality as the real Natalie, so there's really nothing to like
Yes.
dislike about her. So I'm kind of liking how their relationship is so far.
Awesome. Tyra?
Yeah, I was going to say that. I thought when we had Natalie formulated, it was going to be just in body only. But when we give her memories and emotions and things that the original, friend had, it's just kind of like she's here. And I was like, oh, I thought that, which I still think that AI Natalie is a vessel for her to deal with, what she's been blocking out, this grief and this trauma, and to really get some closure there. But I was really looking forward to her looking like her, but them building their own separate relationship, and her knowing that even though it looks like her, it's not her. So when it comes time for me to have to let her go, because you really gonna have her here, like, or whatever it is, we'll have to deal with those bridges and cross them when we do. But it's literally just her. It's her. She knows everything. She pretty much remembers everything. When we had her kind of stopping her tracks at the sight of a gun, I was like, well, hell, it's her. It's pretty much her. So I'm thinking that they're going to switch from whatever I thought in the story, and it's not going to be so much just the grief and her building this new friendship with something or an AI that looks like her, but it's not. It's going to be more so, is this robot or the machine or whatever, the suit, my sole ambition as far as what I have to offer to the world mentally, as with my brilliancy, or is this a vessel? Is this something that I can give to people? Like Brandon said when she told mom, like, yeah, I don't even know how I did that. I can't make another one. Like, but could you? Or even when she had the conversation with I don't want to call him white boy. Yeah, Joe. With Joe, Stane, Ezekiel situation. And it was like, let's just say someone did invent that could still give me closure, as well as the notoriety that I want for my brilliance and wealth and all those things too. I can still make my stake on the world, because the suit is very much so an extension of like a Tony Stark, but this would just be her. And I think that would give her some individuality that I don't feel like she has just yet, with her being kind of, at sometimes, kind of copy and paste.
I agree. And Eugene, thank you so much for that. Neuro Autonomous Technical Assistant and Laboratory Intelligence Entity is what Natalie stands for. Someone in the chat had asked about that. Yeah, and even when we were on Joe, I meant to kind of say that he seems like he's got all of these ideas as far as, bionic parts, or parts that you could augment your humanity, basically, to, preserve people, to extend their lives, to do all of these great things. But when she presents this to him, this idea in theory that she's already done by happenstance, he's like, it would meld your brain. So I'm really curious if there's going to be any repercussions after the fact because of this accident. Brandon, what do you think of Natalie and where we're at, and where do you think we're going to go with her?
I didn't like Natalie in the first episode. I just thought she was too much from the opening. Just there's too much of this. I want to be happy, and she was annoying in the garage. And then her intro at the end of AI, like, who did you think you was, bitch? I mean, that was just super cringe to me. But in episode 2 and beyond, I loved her. I thought she was great. I mean, it was a complete 180. I love how she would keep Riri in check. Hey, I can help you. Why are you not using me to my fullest ability? I can be a friend, I can be a mentor, I can be your AI. You don't need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. I got you. I loved it. So episode 1, it was not the best, but episode 2, she came through.
Natalie grew on me towards the ending of episode 3 as well. I was like, this is a choice.
And finally, the last character that I wanted to talk about before we get into the actual episodes was, of course, H.R. John, who in the show, Manny Montana plays this character, and he's his right hand, the recruiter, and also the enforcer who likes to play with knives, apparently. In the comics, John King is Parker's cousin and getaway driver, and he briefly joins the gang there. But here we know that he's feisty. All about Parker. And I was confused at first, I must say. I was like, is this a familial type of care and concern, like a brother. I mean, I'm just saying it was very territorial. Like when old girl stole the suit and he slammed her head on the thing, like, sir, like, what? I'm really worried about you. You know, I can't keep tatting you up. Now, I'm not gonna, don't get me wrong, Manny Montana, fine. I've seen him over there in Good Girls. I've seen him over there. I like his voice. I like all that. But he was a little bit wild style over here. He did not have any problems putting his hands on a woman, definitely from the Slapaho tribe. But Brandon, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think of John? What do you think of him over here?
I love John from the very beginning. Even when he met Riri at the junkyard and he, gave her the money to pay for the scraps, he was just a smooth talker, presented himself well, and was just straight up and to the point. And I liked him. He had swag, he had charisma. I'm not saying that I would like to hang out with the guy, but I would give him a nod, like, if I saw him out, just like, okay, that guy there. Now I have a personal code as far as just me never putting my hands on a woman, unless I'm in danger myself. However, you're asking for it. If you break into somebody's safe, it is a safe. Like, you don't do that on accident. Okay. It's not a locked closet. It's a safe. And to break into someone's safe and then just prance around as if, you just took a straw out the drawer, a ketchup packet. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you was just kind of asking for it, to be honest with you. But his relationship with the hood, with Parker, I thought was pretty dope as well. Just like, hey man, you can't, this is crazy. I'm not going to stick around while you're killing yourself like this. This is, HR John, perfect name. Like, hey, we need to back out of this job. We do not have the intel. We don't, I haven't done the research. I like him. I do. He was a pretty decent character. He was the best character in the team, in my
Yeah.
Malcolm, what say you? What'd you think of John? And is he from the Slapaho tribe? Because I mean, he have a problem in laying hands on nary woman that he came across.
Honestly, I agree. I'm not mad at him for doing it. I mean, I thought it was pretty funny, to be honest. I mean, I haven't seen somebody get hit that hard on the table since Batman did it to Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight. So I thought that was pretty funny. I mean, I don't support hitting women, but she had it coming. I like John. I like John. He was my favorite one of the group.
I just want to clear up. I'm not saying she deserved it.
Okay, we know,
I just want
Brandon.
to clear that up real quick. I'm not saying that, but at the same time, don't poke the bear either.
Right. I like John. He was my favorite. He was my favorite one of the whole crew. I mean, I'm familiar with Manny Montana. I mean, I'm a gamer. I've seen him in the video game LA Noire. I've seen him in Power. And to be honest, I think he should stop. He should stop being in illegal activities because he keeps getting turned into a pack every time. So I think he needs to stop it.
Oh, poor John. Tyra, did you like John?
John was the best thing in the show, baby. Alongside with Riri, John was the best thing. The best thing that Marvel could do for me as a non-Marvel watcher is slap a hoe. I think there's a lacking of slapping a hoe when it comes to Marvel. There's always this fake sense of safety. It's like, how far are we going to go? Oh, are we really going to lose Riri? Is anybody really in jeopardy of being hurt? Because no, it's our Black Girl Magic and it's in CU, and nobody's really going to no, I'm laying hands and feet. Yeah. When he had that situation with Riri in the lab, the fighting, putting the pyrotechnic chick on the table, I'm here for it. Come, let's go. Like, let's really dive into that lack of morale and you being a bad guy. It's always like, oh, I'm a bad guy. I'm here for all of this, but I'm not going to do that. I don't. No, this is a bad guy. Let him be a bad guy. Like, I hate that safe, that fine line that Marvel walks with. Well, we're going to do this, but this is where we draw the line. Like, no, I love when it feels like I will cut you, I will hurt you, and it's a crime that we have this. Oh, my mother wasn't there for me, so now I like to play with knives, and he's maybe a good we didn't get to see that. we didn't get to see, that part of him be in action because it was just so much of him just kind of being kind of in the background when we were on these missions. But I was looking forward to seeing, how good his aim was, and if we were going to go over there into, some, I like them DC the boys type streets, but it's just let's not be like, well, we can't lay hands on little Riri, and we can't. No, lay hands, please. Do it more often.
Lord
Jesus,
Jesus,
y'all do
easy
nothing on
on
me.
down the road. Let's get to episode one. Take me home. And basically this is kind of the timeline of what happened in the episode. I will give everybody the opportunity to speak on episode one and what stood out to them. But of course we meet Riri, who's at MIT, and like I said, she's selling paper, she's selling tech, she's helping people graduate because she needs a coin to finish her suit. She flies home in her suit that she takes off school property, and while she's flying home, they expel her immediately, and so the suit falls apart. She crash lands. She's walking through the Chi-Town neighborhood, and they're like, that looks really bad, sis. How are you gonna put that back together? It's just hanging off of you. So she's back home now, confronted not only with, what am I gonna do now with my suit? I'm kicked out of school, but then also I'm faced with this grief, right? That I haven't really had to confront while I was away at school. And seen by Parker, she makes a deal with the devil because at the end of the day, it's all about that dollar bill, and she needs to get what she needs to complete her suit. Tyra, I'm starting with you. What did you think of the first episode? Did anything really stand out to you?
No, I thought it was boring. I thought it was boring. I wanted to stop it, and I was like, maybe I need to wait a different day or moment to undertake. Am I missing it? It was. I want to be like set. Like something has to grab you that first episode, and it didn't. So when we're left with Riri and the expulsion of it all, and what she even did, and how cavalier she is about MIT and her education because it's suit or bust, I was like, oh, I wasn't too much expecting that. I would think that she would make her education and getting financed that way a priority as well as the suit. And it was just kind of the divide. And then we're kind of being set with this grief. And it's, they have to put it there because it's Marvel. You have to suffer in some way and have some loss. I wish it wasn't a drive by, but it was. The little, ragtag team of folks. I thought Anthony Ramos looked goofy as hell when we saw him. I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Though I like, and I think that maybe later, like the little testament in the episode, and we left out the, as far as like the characters, the, I guess, potential love interest that lives, in the building also. He's also kind of there as her voice of reason and her moral compass a lot from what I could see. So that's a thing. But yeah, this was a very slow start. And I just knew that I was going to have to keep watching to get to what would keep me hanging on to even want to finish the rest.
Whoa. Malcolm, take me home. What did you think about the first episode?
I actually enjoyed it. I mean, like compared to the other two episodes, it is the weakest one, but overall I enjoyed it. I like the intro where she flies off with the suit. I really enjoyed that. It showed the potential of what she can actually build once she gets the right things around her, how good of a suit she can make, except for it, breaking down on her way home. But I was kind of surprised at her reaction of getting expelled because it seemed like she thought she was just going to get like a slap on the wrist or something. Like at universities, their main, when it comes to plagiarism, they want it to end right there at their university. So they will cut you if needed to. And how she expanded her plagiarism to like almost every single school in New York was kind of surprising. So I don't blame them for expelling her. So that was kind of a shocker to me. That was like the one standout for me. But I like the build up, but it could have been better.
I agree. Well, I don't know if I cared for the build up too much because even in that first conversation, I was like, "Oh, are we gonna get deep immediately?" When she's talking to, I don't know if it was the dean or whoever, but she was basically, we don't play that, Riri. I championed for you and people who look like you to be able to take advantage of this opportunity, and you really just squandered it. We have a zero tolerance, and you're expelled immediately. But how Riri was gonna really try to take the way out, like it's because you guys are doing this to me. Baby, you've been here 5 years, Riri. What are you doing with your life? Brandon, first episode, any standout moments for you? And what did you think of it?
Yeah, like I said, it was the weakest, but it just wasn't horrible. I can say when we got the first introduction of the Hood's team, Parker's team, and they were trying to um, rob that house, that mansion, and the security guy, or what was the name, Rockstar, or
Rampage.
Rampage.
Rampage. I hated him. I mean, it's just like, why are you being so goofy and silly when you're in the middle of this mission? I just hate, comedy like that. It was really annoying. I didn't like the junkyard guy. I think his name, I forgot his name as well, but he was just really goofy, in the shop, and that was just annoying to me. I wasn't a fan of the title cards. Like when she crashed from MIT back in Chicago and hit the pavement, it said Ironheart on the ground. I thought that was corny. However, I know we're just talking about episode 1. In the future episodes, it grew on me. Episode 2, it was a street sign, and episode 3, I forgot. It was in the money when they were shooting up the money and stuff, which we'll talk about. So that grew on me. But in episode 1, I was just like, okay, this is silly. And I talked about how I didn't like the intro of Natalie at the end. But what stood out to me in a positive, though, was the intro. They did a very good job of explaining how she has a suit in Chicago. She got expelled. She built it herself with her grant money. It's broken. And so that made sense to me. I like the fact that the Iron Man suit has been around since the 2008. And there was a line that said, everybody is obsessed with this suit, but nobody can do it. Nobody can replicate it. I mean, this is like top of the line technology with arc reactors, and after all these years, Riri is the only person that's come remotely close to duplicating that technology. So I just thought that was dope, and just kind of just shot her up as far as like accolades on how smart she is compared to everybody else, and the conversation that she was having with the black lady in the dean's office when Riri was trying to monologue, like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, you guys want me to be small, why? She's like, Riri, I'm saying, who asked you to be small? You wasting money. You plagiarizing the whole state of Massachusetts. Like, come on now. I mean, I work hard to get people like you, black women, in here, and you effing up. I love that conversation. I was like, and this was the beginning. So I'm like, all right, we got another powerful start right here. So I mean, overall, I liked it. That was a standout moment for me, and yeah.
Yeah. The only thing again, and I did like the elevator scene as well, Steph. I see you. But again, I just don't understand. I mean, money is your full motivation, and you're willing to do anything for it at any cost. You're the smartest woman in the world, right? Or in the U.S. And you didn't do any fact-finding mission. You didn't dig any deeper to vet this criminal that you're going to be working with. I just, But hey,
I got you.
but let's ease on down the road. Whisper. If I whisper it, it sounds sweeter, Tyra. Episode 2. Will the real Natalie please stand up? Of course, we have the ghost in the machine. The gang's all here, and a new friend. So we get here. We discover that our bestie is in the suit, and like I said, is really our proverbial conscience, or that angel on our shoulder that's kind of giving us wisdom, advice. Girl, don't go over there. You don't even know these people. What are you thinking about? But Riri, being strong-minded, is going to do the same. I think episode 2 is where we get to see Riri's mom, Ronnie, have a conversation with Natalie and really kind of see the degree at which her daughter, is moving in this world, which I thought was really, really nice. Then, of course, I've done our first mission. We've celebrated with all the money, throwing it up in the air, and we're kind of getting everyone's backstory in the group, right? We got 2 cage fighters, or whoever those girls are, which is so bizarre to me. I don't like them at all. I don't know why they're presented that way, but they're not giving these characters any humanity for me. Even Slug, I'm like, okay, I didn't even the pyro girl, like this crew, I could care less about, unfortunately. And then finally, we're trying to scavenge. We've gone on the black market. We've tried to reach out to Rampage. He's not answering his phone, but Joe appears, and I need to get some bionic equipment. Let's go over here. Let me blackmail him. Let me get what I need. And a new friend. Brandon, I'm going to start with you. Episode 2, will the real Natalie please stand up? Anything stand out for you on this episode? What did you think of it? And did you think we were going where we were going after it was all said and done in episode 3?
Yeah, I can say yes to that. What I did like is Riri and the mother. What was her name again?
Ronnie?
Ronnie, yes. Riri anticipated getting grilled when she came into the door. Like, are you gonna tell me about your friend? And she's like, oh, I don't need this right now. She's wonderful. She's great. So it's like, I love the fact that, her brilliance is being praised at home, and, her mom is not a hater or anything like that. What's up with that? What's oh, sorry. And also just her with Natalie, their relationship. She's like, oh my God, you're just like her. The mannerisms, the smile, the energy. I loved it. And so I mean, we got more of the mission with Joe and Riri as they got into the bunker and all of that. But my favorite moment was with the mother and Riri and the mother and Natalie.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was a really sweet moment. Malcolm, what about you? Episode 2, any standout moments for you in episode 2? Like I said, I felt like the pace picked up. I was actually like by the middle of episode 2, I was like, all right, okay, we might be going somewhere. What did you think, Malcolm?
I really liked it. I mean, the one thing that stood out to me was the heist. More importantly, Parker, because there was a moment where when he was in the car with the lady, and in my head I was thinking like, okay, so he breathes, he has to hold his breath. And I'm just thinking like the whole time he's just sitting in the car listening to her doing whatever she does, and I'm just like, how is he not like laughing or breathing? And just it was just funny to me. Like all it would have taken was one moment of somebody hitting the brakes too hard, and he just hits his head on the front of the seat, and he just goes ugh, and shows himself. I just thought that was pretty funny. But I really liked the scene with Ronnie and Nat. That was a really good scene, and just just the overall build up in the episode. We getting introduced to Joe. I mean, I liked going back to what B. Avery said about Heather. I don't get why Joe didn't do anything to her. And so to be honest, if he wanted to be really petty about it, he could have pulled a Jim Carrey and just took a crap on her lawn after cutting up the flowers. So I just thought that if he wanted to do that, that would have been pretty funny.
He was very kind, but that lady probably wake up and her dog might be unalived or something. He's nefarious, I'm telling you. Tyra, episode 2, anything stand out for you? Did episode 2 improve for you over episode 1, or were you still bored?
Why you say that? I mean, barely. You have these images here, and everything was just very inconsequential. The main standout, I guess, for me would be the AI situation and what she was able to do, because that was unexpected. We were just, trying to fix the machine, and not only did I create this AI, but it's a part of my subconscious, and it's my friend, and it's, bringing back these memories and this grief that I'm trying to suppress. That was creative. Did I care for Natalie immediately? No, but I was happy that it was something different. The ragtag group and the gang's all here. Like, what do they do? What do they have to offer? I expected like a peak to really be the heist and for me to really be here for that. I wasn't. It's just all so unimpressive. It's also unimpressive, and it's just, expected and formulaic. And I think it's because this was supposed to be a movie. This feels like something they tried to stretch out to be a series. So all of the average things that would have been cut out here and left on the cutting room floor, we're going to put them back to elongate this to be an hour. Like the standout this episode was them singing Alanis Morissette in the car.
I mean,
That was a standout. Like,
that coin.
and that should never be the case with how exciting this should be. Like, it was dry. It was dry. Like, I wanted more. It felt like whomever was at the helm, whether the cutting floor stuff was put back or not, they felt like Riri being black was enough, and it's not. All the characters around her should be at least a little bit intriguing. We should care about these missions and, you know, have fun and really get into the woes and ups and downs of her being morally gray. Like, we met her in a selfish space of, I don't care if it's been 5 years, I'm here for my damn machine. I'm brilliant. Like, just gone a little academic probation and put me back. Like, whatever. Okay, I won't do it anymore. It's like, no, you're at the end of your rope as far as the leverage we're going to give you. Just because you're brilliant, you're expelled. And it's just like, oh, she's just been coasting because she's hyper fixated on her wants, her needs, her desires, and what she wants to do, all the way down to getting in with this pretty much corrupt gang of people. Like, it's almost like a villainous origin story, but we know that she's not that. But even if we're gonna like throw her into kind of, and we can't even do that because she's not an anti-hero. She's not. She's clearly on the right side of the morale because she keeps questioning, well, what are we? Well, who are we? Like, are we the good guys or the bad guys? And but it's like, I'm gonna throw any thoughts I have of judgment out of the window because I need the money for this machine. It's just, it's Kendrick Lamar. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Money. You know, I don't know. I don't view her as a hero yet. She's done nothing heroic up to this point. Even when Joe asks her, or Zeke asks her, and is like, "So, you know, you're doing this for the good of humanity?" No, no. I just
No,
want this
no.
for me. I don't view her as a hero at all. And even the questions she asks them, but then she's still like, "Well, yeah, I'm gonna still go over here and get this coin." So, like, girl, are you really a hero yet? I
Well,
mean, maybe
no,
this is our
well,
hero origin story. Maybe.
I think it's because where she comes from. Like, it's not like she is a prodigy of a particular black girl demographic and she's from privilege and wealth. And I've never seen a street in my life. Like, no, Riri is very, you know, from the hood. She's from, you know, a certain place in Chicago. So it would seem like she would want to triumph other things and not get mixed up with these elements because I'm street smart as well as book smart from where I come from. And from what I know, these are not good people for me to be involved with. Like, I want the money, but I don't want to jeopardize myself or hell jail time to get it. Like, let me think of something else. We're just, it seems like she would be smarter than this situation, and she's not acting as if she is in this show.
Yeah, easing on over to the final episode that we were able to see. We in danger, girl. Now, I thought this was a cute ghost reference that Slug said. I was like, you in danger, girl? Yeah, we in danger.
Yeah.
All of us in danger because we have the greenhouse heist in this situation. And, you know, we always get an ominous warning, really, in almost every movie, honestly, where they're like, you know, that's a bad idea. We don't have enough information. No, we're going for it. We're going for it anyway. John tried to be the voice of reason in this heist, but no one would listen. And of course, we finally see who the hood really is. Honey, he disappears. He goes back like it's wild style. And also, as Riri is trying to help Joe, we discover that he is Obadiah Stane's son, Ezekiel. And I'm just, like I said, I'm here to say it now. That is not your friend. Again, Riri has Natalie commanding the suit while she's in there trying to get a piece of this cape so that she can run it through Joe's little secret spectrometer or whatever the machine is to see what it's made of. Because when she asks or presses the hood, he's like, you know, it's magic. You know, magic is what people say when they don't understand the science of it. But he's like, no, it's legitimately magic. And I think he knows because it's having a literal impact on his body. I think the pyrotechnics girl called it scales, but it looks like veins to me. It looks like he's turning into poison ivy or like a big infection. We'll definitely see what happens with him. But Tyra, I'll go ahead and start with you for this one. We in Danger Girl. What did you think about episode 3? We're gonna get you over with. You know, we're just gonna get Tyra out the way real quick. What did you think? Did anything stand out about the episode?
I mean, it finally picked up. If that's what you want to hear, it finally picked up here. You know, it only took 3 episodes, but it finally picked up for me here to where at least my ears perked up. Like, okay, I'm invested enough to sit up and want to know what's going on, and I'm not, you know, haphazardly watching while simultaneously scrolling on my phone. It picked up here. It picked up a whole lot for me here. I really wish that with the ragtag with Riri for who I would like for her to be, it's like, well, I thought we were doing X, Y, and Z and we were the good guys. Like, you, girl, you knew these weren't the damn good guys. But it was iffy when we have the police and everybody come and she's like, well, yeah, well, we don't know if he did that or not. You know, he could, like, girl. we know exactly what the hood did and how him and the cousin are moving around and what happened to that man and these loose ends, but we still, you know, go ahead and go through with the mission. I did that this time. I was invested in the heist and things that were going on, and Riri kind of manipulating the situation in the suit in her favor, and us kind of using Natalie properly. I feel like they really ingratiated her by that point, and it wasn't hyper. Yes, bitch, woo, girl, yeah. Like it was. They found, you know, the soft spot to land with her to where it's just enough, and she's really fulfilling a purpose to where she's acting like, well, I don't really need you here, and I can't wait to subdue or erase you. Like, no, I need you here in this capacity as a savior, and also just as my friend and not just my iffy moral compass person. I like that she got into a scuffle here. Like, let's go. Come on. Come on. Let's get into that. Let's, you know, lay hands if need be. Let's you know, leave. You left my son for dead. Leave him for dead. Let's go. I was like, all right, we're doing stuff. We're doing stuff. We're creating tension within this team, and we're not just gonna be here and it's about the suit. No, I still have morals, and this isn't okay. Not only that, but I want to investigate further what's up. I'm going to risk life and limb to the piece of it. And then we have, you know, the incorporation of, can Ezekiel be trusted because he's getting there? Even though she's like, you blackmailed me, now I'm here, you know, back to blackmail you. And how peakish is he going to get with kind of, well, I don't really stand up for myself and you can poop on my lawn. Well, no, you know, I'm somebody. And matter of fact, I'm a smart somebody and I'm going to use this to my advantage. And, you know, what's up with that AI again? I don't know. I think it was at this point that things finally got interesting for me.
Okay. I mean, I want to know this, Tyra. Was it really because she cared about whether they were bad, or was she just scared that they were going to kill her because she thinks they killed Rampage?
That's the
she does is motivated by self-interest, and I mean, you know,
yeah.
it is. I'm not mad.
Yeah. Like, they haven't given us enough of Riri to even know that morally I would never. And I can't say that I just have an issue with that. I just wish that they would lean hard left or lean hard right. They just kind of have her in between.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something for her to deal with once she doesn't have to be in this secluded suit, selfish space because of loss. And we're just getting a different version of her because of that. But I don't think she would keep committing and putting herself in these situations if she didn't care about, you know, the other thing. So.
Okay. Malcolm, what did you think about episode 3? And were there any standout moments for you in the episode? And what did you think? Did you think she was actually going to unalive John? Did you think this was going to happen the way it did? And is he really gone for good?
It was a really great episode. It was the best one of the 3. There were a lot of standout moments in this episode. I mean, you can literally make a list of it. John making clown look like a clown on the table. Joe revealing his last name, the greenhouse fight. But the one moment that really stood out to me, this is kind of petty but personal, but finding out that Stewart, aka Rampage, got turned into a pack. That was personally a favorite of mine because I'm gonna just make it clear. Rosario Dawson is my all-time crush. I love that woman and everything. So if you don't know, Eric Andres, the actor that plays Stewart, was dating her. So officially, he's a nemesis. So I couldn't wait for him to get turned into a pack. So just wanted to make that
In
clear.
real life, they date?
Yeah, for like a split second.
Oh my Rosario, what are we doing with life? Brandon, episode 3. What did you think? Any standout moments for you? And does it have you begging for more? Were you thirsting and hungry for more after this ended?
Well, yeah, it is the best episode out of the 3, and I was looking forward to seeing what happened next with the way it ended. With with the hood, where Parker screaming and yelling at the skit ceiling because he's upset that John died. And we have this daunting shadow hovering over him. So I really like that. Yeah, best episode. Standout moments for me was just them and the scales, him being possessed or taken over by this demon, the demonic cloak, and I guess John is trying to, give him tattoos to cover it up. And I'm just kind of thinking, like, man, I don't think there's anything worth, me being taken over by like a demonic hood, that's possessing my body. And I mean, that's just, I don't know. Maybe if, my mom was dying or something, or my daughter, and I could, this is the one way I can save their life, maybe. But he just has money. He just going after money and power. So that's interesting. But we spoke about this before. I do love the Ezekiel Stane subplot. That was pretty cool. And I also think it was pretty cool that she did leave John to die like that. I mean, he was going to out her, but I did not expect that. I thought he was going to be a character that's going to be around for a while, but I think he's dead. I think he's out of there. And so that's I wasn't expecting that.
I'm hoping I hope they reanimate him or something. Like I hope he's not really gone. Like he's just, laid out a little bit for a while. He took a nap, That's
Yeah.
my hope. Give me something. Because we
Perfect
need that.
time. Well, we got to see just how far he's willing to go and laying hands and all of the tricks that he has, but that's going to be his motivation to try to tear Riri from limb to limb with that vision or shadowy whatever presence that he got to know. Like it was Louis, it was Riri. Like I gotta go get it back in blood.
So it really feels like oh, go ahead, Malcolm. You're good. Go ahead.
It would be interesting if John is the opposite of Natalie. Like Parker, Parker will see John just like how Riri sees Natalie. It'll be interesting if they go that route. That way it'll show like the whatever the entity is that's talking to the hood, he decides to take like a form, and the form will be John. And that would be a nice way to see if they do that to try to manipulate him more to the dark side. It would be interesting if they do that. But I do know that after John is quote unquote unalive, I wouldn't be surprised if another member of the team gets turned into a pack.
Oh, so you just think they're going to all start dropping like flies? Because I'm very curious if this cloak is from Mephisto and all of that, is that what's controlling him? Is this the reason he's doing the things that he's doing? Or is there someone else behind it? He keeps saying he gave me this, whatever. Who is the he? Like what do we think? Is this all purely demonic influence, or is there someone else involved with it? Anybody can comment if you want to. I'm curious though about that.
I think it's the demon Mephisto
That's controlling everything. That's the okay. We'll definitely see. Thank you, Chuck, for the $5 super chat. Just out of love for the content, y'all provide consistent quality. I'm gonna save the Princess Jasmine update for another day. Put it in the Discord. Put it in the collective Discord, Chuck. You know we got you. You know we're invested in this love story. But I want to know. And this is purely for me, for my kicks and giggles. And I will start with you, Brandon. Do we need this? Do we need Ironheart as a people for the culture? Is this something that we need? Because a lot of the comments I saw were, we don't need this. No one asked for this. We don't need this. And so I just want to know from the panel, Do we need Ironheart? And drop it in the chat as well for us. Let me know.
Well, I want to say yes and no. I want to say yes because why not? People are saying we didn't ask for this. There's a lot of stuff that we didn't ask for, and we still got it. Ended up being good. I mean, we didn't ask for Werewolf by Night, and that was off the chain. You know, we didn't ask for Moon Knight, an idea like that. I'm not going to go down every show. You said, is it for the culture? It is, but I would have rather, and I guess when people say, do we need this? They rather see the money and resources go into something else, like a different project. I would say yes. I mean, I would have loved to seen a Wakanda series or anything with Black Panther. Could have just been a Wakanda. It could have been a Dora Milaje. So, but those are the only thing that comes to mind. So, in short, do we need this? Yes, I'm gonna say I'm gonna be positive and say yes, we do. Not saying that it's the best thing since sliced bread, but why shouldn't we get Black female or just Black led franchises? I think we should. So yes.
Okay, all right. And guys, drop it in the chat. Do we need this? Does the culture need this? As a people, do we need this? And did the MCU need this? Malcolm, do we need this? What do you think?
I mean, to be honest, nobody asked for a white Black Panther, which is a new comic story, but look where that's happened. So, yeah, I think we needed it, but at the same time, it's like, if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it. But either way, you can't really escape it. But I agree with what B. Avery said about like the door. I'm sorry, I can't say that. Doja Milani, or what? The woman of Wakanda. I'll just say that. I agree that they could have had a show because I feel like after that movie, The Woman King with Viola Davis and all of the other women, I think they should have I think they should have made a show after that movie came out because that was really good. But I'm not against it, but I'm for it, I should say. I'm really excited to see what happens after the show. Maybe they'll I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. All right. Tyra?
Hell yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we need this. Even if it's not my favorite thing as far as viewing thus far, even though it did pick up. Girls need this. It's so much that we're seeing, and I say this to my daughter all the time. They don't have that go between as far as television and media like we maybe had between those ages of 12 and 16. We don't really get that much diversity in that space, and that's why they're watching baddies. I like this. I like this. I like that it gives a different visual and a perspective to a Black girl, or just any girls just in general, but per se a Black girl, just to see themselves differently than what we typically get in the movies. There's just no area for it right now. So it's nice to kind of get back into some of that and have a Riri Williams on your screen. There's never going to be a moment where I don't want to see this. I want to see it executed brilliantly, but I want to see it.
Okay. And is Eyes of Wakanda no longer happening in August?
It's happening. It's still happening.
Oh, okay. So we'll get something, but that's only going to be 4 episodes. They'll probably drop that all at once too. And then finally, predictions. And I just want to know, will they subvert expectations? Malcolm, I'll start with you. Any predictions for the other half of the series?
Well, I mean, one of the trailers kind of spoiled one of the expectations, being the magic side. Like, I didn't like that they revealed that in one of the trailers that Riri's suit's gonna have magic on it. So I kind of didn't like that. That would have been a nice little twist to have. But prediction wise, I would like to see. I don't know. I guess I would like to see something that's teased towards either the next Black Panther movie or the Doomsday, because I like to see that. That's what they're speculating that this movie is going to be like. I said movie, TV show. This TV show is going to show like some kind of hint towards Doomsday. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens with that. And also, I would like to see if they're finally going to beat the Mephisto allegations, because, like I said, people have been saying Mephisto for like almost 10 years now. They said it in WandaVision. They said it in Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. I would like to see it. Oh, and Agatha all along. So I would kind of like to see them finally put the Mephisto theories and speculations to bed.
Okay. All right. B. Avery.
I predict they're going to stick the landing.
Okay,
Mhm.
so that's it. He said, "I just know that they're gonna seal it home. It's gonna be great when we
Yeah,
wrap it up." Okay, I'll
yeah.
take that. And finally, Tyra, any predictions? Are they gonna subvert expectations, or is this gonna be predictable? What do you think?
They have no choice. It can only go up from here. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like it has to go up. Like I really feel like this was a movie and they stretched it out, and that's why maybe my patience were thin with those 2 episodes because don't play my face. But there is somewhere to go here, and I feel like they're holding back certain things that'll be like, okay, they have to. Please don't be that predictable. They have to be holding back certain things that is like, oh, I really didn't expect them to go in this direction. Like when we have something pop out, like Riri, catch your body in that last episode. Even though y'all said she didn't actually, maybe she could have opened the door, she didn't. So as far as I'm concerned, she caught that body. They have to. I think it's only up from here. Now, will it subvert my expectations? I don't know, because hell, I guess they're high at this point from from what I'm constantly looking for. But I just hope it's really good, and it's something that I do want to maybe go back and revisit and watch, and it gives Riri some staying power versus, oh, okay, we got that out the way. Let's move on to them other MCU properties.
Okay. All righty. Well, y'all, that was Ironheart, episodes 1 through 3, as far as I wanted to talk about it. And so I want to give each of you guys the floor to let the people know what you have going and let them know where they can find you. Malcolm, I will start with you.
Just want to say thanks for having me on this discussion board. I really enjoyed it. What I have on my channel, I discuss anime and sometimes gaming. Recently uploaded a video talking about Expedition 33, so if you're a gamer, you should check that out. Next video I'm working on is related to the GOAT Vegeta. So, and you can follow me on all social medias with the name Malcolm Joestar. That's Malcolm and then Joestar. And that's all I have.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you for accepting the invitation. Brandon or B. Avery over at Just My Opinion. What's going on? Let the people know.
Yeah, again, thanks for having me as well, Ashley. It's always a pleasure, and always, of course, lovely to work with Tyra and Malcolm. It was nice meeting you as well. I look forward to doing this again in the future, hopefully. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Behavior over here. I just give my opinion on movies, television, all that good stuff. I talk about a lot of Black people stuff, Black content, but I try to cover everything. Like I just saw Megan last night. I got a F1 review coming as well. And so, I like the blockbusters. I used to be in the indie films a lot too and kind of stepped away from that, but I'm thinking about coming back. I do like a Wes Anderson movie. He has his own unique brush to make things. And yeah, yeah. So, if you like a lot of stuff in the mainstream, or people that look like me, I'll probably have an opinion on it. So come through, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. And finally, Tyra over at Struggle Reviews
Oh,
TV.
yes,
What's going on, friend? What's going
you
on,
gonna put
friend?
me up here? Girl, you know what's going on. We will be back in 20 minutes to talk about 28 years later. So please stay up and join us for that. As far as the remaining things this week, tomorrow we have our Sex in the City watch along. We are revisiting the show, and Ashley's watching it for the first time, so be on the lookout for that. We might even pull up for some more Love Island. I don't know. Friday, we get into Divorced Sisters as well as in Just Like That. And also join us Saturday for Collective News.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. And y'all know what to do. Please make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. And like and comment down below. We appreciate it so much. But thank you guys so much for being here. Thanks for the support. And we will see you guys in the next video.
Peace.